A hearing is underway in Atlanta over allegations of misconduct by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. She's accused of having a personal relationship with the lead prosecutor in former President Trump's election interference case. If the allegations are in fact proven true, she could be disqualified. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is in Atlanta. Nikole, what are we hearing from both sides in today's hearing?
Well, we are finally, for the first time, hearing directly in person from Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. He, of course, was the prosecutor that District Attorney Fani Willis brought on to help assist in this election interference case involving the former president and 18 other co-defendants. And so, as you know, the district attorney has since admitted that she did have a personal relationship with Nathan Wade. And so right now, as he is on the stand, he is being asked about the nature of that relationship and some of the trips that he took with the district attorney. So he did acknowledge that they, for instance, took trips to Belize, to Napa Valley, California. What he has said is that even though his name appears on some of these bookings, he says that the district attorney in most instances reimbursed him for some of these travel costs. He was also asked about how much he made from the district attorney's office. Right now, he is being questioned by Ashley Merchant, who is the attorney that filed this complaint against the district attorney, which exposed these allegations. And so she has been asking Nathan Wade about whether he earned, for instance, in 1 year, more than $300,000 from the district attorney's office. And so what he explained is that he did not directly earn that money, but that it was checks were cut by Fulton County and given to his firm, and then his firm dispersed that money. So keep in mind that this original complaint alleges that Nathan Wade made well over $650,000 through his work in the district attorney's office. But what he is saying is that that money was divvied up among some of his partners, so he did not necessarily make that full amount of money. So that's kind of where we are in the line of questioning. We earlier this morning also heard from another witness who worked in the district attorney's office, who was friends with District Attorney Fani Willis, and who alleges that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis had a relationship prior to Nathan Wade starting this position. Of course, we know that Nathan Wade and the district attorney say that their relationship started after Wade was brought on board, and that is a critical question that the judge in this case is trying to get to.
Nikole, I want to circle back up to what you were saying about the questions about payments, because our audience, if they were watching earlier, they were hearing Nathan Wade being questioned extensively about receipts, about his divorce affidavit. What is the purpose of that line of questioning?
Well, again, at the end of the day, this hearing is to determine whether or not District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, for that matter, should stay on this case, and whether or not this case should be thrown out. That is why Ashley Merchant brought this complaint to begin with on the behalf of her client, co-defendant Michael Roman, who was a Trump campaign operative who was charged in this broader racketeering case. But look, you know, this hearing is to figure out whether or not the district attorney in any way personally benefited from this relationship with Nathan Wade. Certainly, office romances are not breaking news, but if she were paying Nathan Wade and that money is coming from Fulton County taxpayers, and then they are taking trips, and then that money is kind of being used as a kickback, if you will, that is what they're trying to determine. So that is why the line of questioning is about the nature of the relationship, how much Nathan Wade made, and how this money was ultimately spent and dispersed.
All right, Nikole Killion, thank you.
You bet.